As our understanding of mental health has evolved, it has become not just acceptable, but encouraged to talk to someone when you are dealing with grief or stress.
A museum in Kennebunk is hosting a series this spring that highlights Mainers who've been leaving evidence of their mental health experiences for centuries. As News Center Maine's David Guilford shows us, sometimes you just have to know where to find it.
You really get kind of this deep dive into somebody's mind.
Past the exhibits at the Brickstore Museum in Kennebunk, you might reach a room that guards the history of the town. Cynthia Walker is the keeper of that history, and last year she got an idea.
I came upon a letter from a woman who had just lost her son, and she was describing in this, it was actually a diary, she was describing her grief in it, and it really kind of just hit home for me.
As Mainers waded through a deadly pandemic, Walker wondered how many of them felt alone with fear or grief. In her archives, she read through diaries and letters, some a century and a half old.
This gentleman who's writing to his wife wrote horizontally and vertically on the page. So when he was at sea, he only had a certain amount of pages that he brought with him.
And yet full of concern over war and disease, like every generation since. She and the Maine Humanities Council started a series on mental health through history. This spring, they're bringing it back for free.
January 1st, 1884.
Including the diary that first sparked Walker's interest.
The year 1883 took from us our darling Benny, our firstborn, given or rather lent to us.
Simultaneously, I found them incredibly relatable and familiar, and also the past sometimes does feel like a foreign country.
USM history professor Lacey Sparks is leading this year's discussion.
When I'm reading these documents, so much of them are descriptions of people's pain or their experiences of their lives. And it feels like one of the most important things for me to do is to just listen and to bear witness and to share that in a way that is respectful.
These Mainers might have thought their private words would die with them.
Married couple.
Sparks and Walker hope, instead, they can remind others they're not alone.
Hopefully they would feel good to know that it helps somebody if they're able to share their feelings or their experiences.
In Kennebunk, David Guilford, News Center, Maine.